On today's news, Buddy Murphy teases he'll be joining AEW, a rumor killer on the Bray Wyatt to Impact report, more news on other talent changing companies, backstage details on the draft, and more. Make sure to hit the subscribe button because once we hit 815,000 subscribers, I'm gonna make my manservant Ollie do something extra humiliating. He's on holiday this week, probably scared of me, so maybe it could be a nice gift for him once he gets back.
Support WrestleTalk!
If there's one thing you can say about AEW, love it or hate it, in the last couple of months the programs certainly haven't been boring, have they? The return of CM Punk, the debuts of Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole and Ruby Soho are all out, Minoru freaking Suzuki, and a match of the year contender dream match in Danielson vs Omega, and it seems like they're not done there. On this week's AEW Dynamite, there will be a casino ladder match, with the winner being granted an AEW Championship match. So far, the announced competitors are Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, Andrade, Pac, Orange Cassidy, and Matt Hardy. But the important element of the match is the surprise Joker entrant. There has only been one casino ladder match in the past, which saw Brian Cage debut as the Joker and win the match. And now, Buddy Matthews, the former Buddy Murphy in WWE, after his series of vignettes on Twitter leading to his 90-day non-compete clause expiring, has now tweeted a simple emoji of a Joker playing card. I personally wouldn't have any complaints if Matthews debuted, won the match, and then went on to have a stonker of a match against Kenny Omega. Think of all the knees in that match. V-trigger, knee, V-trigger, knee. It wasn't all that long ago that on his Instagram, Matthews, then Murphy as he was still with WWE, responded to a fan question asking what his dream match outside of WWE is, saying it was Kenny Omega. Omega commented on this, saying Murphy was the kind of guy he enjoys watching and that it would be fun to mix it up with him. Buddy Matthews to AEW confirmed. Part of the appeal of Matthews' vignettes is that it seemed to share the same continuity as Malachi Black's video promos, both being let out of the same institute. So will we see that continuity continue in AEW? Would you want to see Matthews joining AEW, or would you rather he go somewhere else? Let me know in the comments because I'll be replying to people from out of nowhere for the first 30 minutes after this video goes live. V-trigger, knee. And now a quick word from today's sponsor.
Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this video's sponsor, Ridge, which you can get 10% off now using our link in the video description below. The Ridge have redefined the wallet, creating a minimalist card holder for up to 12 cards, plus room for all your money in a compact design which easily fits in your front pocket, unlike your current wallet, which is probably about as minimalist as a hipster burger. No one can get that in their mouth. Title of my sex tape. Ridge wallets are available in 30 different colors and styles, have RFID blocking technology to protect your cards from digital pickpockets, over 40,000 5-star reviews, and a 45-day trial period with lifetime warranty, meaning this could be the last wallet you ever have to buy. And wallets aren't all they do, as I've just picked up their awesome weatherproof commuter backpack which has so many compartments. So please support WrestleTalk and at least check out the Ridge wallet by using our link ridge.com/WrestleTalk below. And if you like what you see, use the code WrestleTalk for 10% off. Support WrestleTalk, support your wallet with the Ridge.
With so many WWE wrestlers being released this year, and with reports of lots more contracts coming up soon, the talk of the wrestling news world right now is wrestlers appearing in other companies. So here's a rundown of all the things happening with a bunch of different talent. Bray Wyatt's status has been a bit of a question mark since his release on July 31st. His 90-day non-compete clause is still in effect, however there was a report recently that he had the option to waive that clause and appear as soon as last week's episode of Dynamite on AEW. This obviously didn't happen, but prior to that, there were reports that he was expected to join Impact Wrestling once his 90 days expired. However, a new report from Fightful Select gives an update on the situation, which says that no deal with Impact Wrestling is in place or close. We did confirm, however, that Impact has interest in Wyatt and has asked for a member of their roster familiar with him to reach out in an effort to recruit him. The report concludes with, as of now, there's no solid indication we've got from any particular company as to where Wyatt will land. Bray Wyatt to AEW confirmed. However, someone that is more likely likely to join Impact in the near future is one Braun Strowman, real name Adam Scherr, who has been teasing that his 90 days are up on Twitter, saying now the real game of chess begins, the Titan is free, and choices, 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 so many choices with a lot of exclamation marks. And now a new report from Fightful Select has shed some light on where Scherr may be heading, which says that there has been talks between Scherr and All Elite Wrestling, but of recent weeks we've actually heard that Impact Wrestling is heavily interested in signing him. There are reportedly no details on if he's actually signed with them or not, but those within the company believe they're going to land him and will be heading that way soon. Nothing is definite until he appears, but several in Impact think he's headed there. Braun Strowman to AEW confirmed. One former WWE talent who's already making moves in AEW is Bobby Fish, who on this week's episode of Dynamite will be facing new TNT champion Sammy Guevara. It's not unusual for one-off appearances of challengers to face the TNT champion, as AEW brought in wrestlers such as Warhorse, Eddie Kingston and Ricky Starks for special appearances, though the latter two of course ended up signing with the company. However, some eagle-eyed viewers took a closer look at the match graphic used to advertise the match on Wednesday, and they spotted that not only was Bobby Fish wearing a t-shirt not currently available on his PWT store, but there was also a tiny little AEW logo on it, which is normally only reserved for people who are contracted to All Elite Wrestling, giving many people reason to believe he's already signed with the company. Bobby Fish to AEW confirmed. But that's not all, as there's a chance we could be seeing Chad Gable jump ship at some point too, as Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio mentioned that a lot of his friends want him to go to AEW, but that he wasn't currently aware of his contract situation. Chad Gable to AEW confirmed. And lastly, on the wrestler speculation roundup, there were reports recently that Kevin Owens' WWE contract expires in January 2022, with Owens even teasing in now deleted tweets that he wanted to reunite Mount Rushmore, the stable of him, the Young Bucks and Adam Cole. Since then, Owens has been consistently beaten up by Happy Corbin and his new sidekick Madcap Moss. I still can't believe it's Madcap and not Mad Cat. Even being decisively beaten by Corbin on last week's SmackDown with 2 end of days putting him away. A fan on Twitter noted that Owens looked more and more miserable with each WWE appearance he made. However, another fan quote tweeted that, saying, "When you create a narrative, you'll see it everywhere you look." Kevin Owens has now liked this response about the fan-made narrative, and has also liked a tweet remarking that when Kevin Owens sees a narrative that fans are making on his behalf, he will lean into it with every opportunity. So this would suggest that Owens isn't actually unhappy in WWE and could feasibly re-sign when his contract does expire in January. Kevin Owens to AEW confirmed. That's it for the speculation and reports on talent-changing companies. Now let's talk about talent-changing brands in WWE. Thank you for being awesome Pledgehammers on Patreon, the Kessel Run, DX Solo, and Mad Mac the Meat Father. You can get your own shoutouts and a bunch of extra bonus content by visiting us at patreon.com/WrestleTalk. For those that missed it, the first night of the draft took place on last week's SmackDown, with the second night happening on tonight's episode of Raw. On that first night, the second overall pick for SmackDown was Raw Women's Champion Charlotte, who stood tall to end the episode, because of course she did. It's now been revealed why Charlotte was moved across to SmackDown, and according to a report from Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc., who hasn't had the best track record of late, so perhaps take this with a pinch of salt, Charlotte was moved over to the Blue brand specifically because Fox asked for her. There's currently no more details provided, but it's very possible that a network saw Charlotte Flair and wanted her on their show. And with SmackDown now having Roman Reigns interviewed with Brock Lesnar no less, Charlotte Flair, Woods and Kingston and Drew McIntyre, Raw got a little bit boned in night one of the draft, didn't they? But there have been several more picks announced, as was revealed on Talking Smack following SmackDown, which I'm sure lots of us missed. In addition to SmackDown's picks from the show, they also acquired Aaliyah, Drew Gulak, Mace, Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, and Tony Storm. While Raw drafted Nia Jax, John Morrison, 24/7 champion Reggie, R-Truth, Drake Maverick, Akira Tozawa, Zelina Vega, Alpha Academy, Apollo Crews, and Commander Aziz, Doudrop, and T-Bar. That final name is the most intriguing one, as this officially means an end to Retribution, with the last two remaining members splitting up. But not only is this the official end of Retribution, but this could also be the end of T-Bar in WWE, as he's tweeted out to say, "Guess I'm all alone. Time to feast your eyes. Hashtag WWE Raw." Feast your eyes is the old catchphrase of his previous gimmick he held in NXT, Dominik Dijakovic. He has now also changed his profile picture to a photo of him as Dijakovic rather than T-Bar. So we may finally be getting the guy we actually wanted from NXT this whole time. The guy who was tearing the house down with Keith Lee. Wait, Keith Lee and Dijak will be on the same roster as single stars. Come on WWE, you know you want to. Dijak to AEW confirmed. Following reports last week that the reason Randy Orton missed Raw and a house show at the weekend was because he was not cleared to compete. It seems we can add another to that list. Rey and Dominik Mysterio were drafted to Raw on the first night of the draft, but it may be a little while before we see the duo appear. As a report from Fightful Select notes, Mysterio was sidelined from a Puerto Rico house show due to an undisclosed medical reason. There are no further details on how long he'll be out for, but here's hoping for a speedy recovery for Rey. Check out Adam's latest list of the best TV matches from NXT 1.0, Oh Nostalgia, and make sure to check out Ridge Wallet by checking the link in the description.
NXT, much like Ozzy Osbourne, is going through changes, and look, I'm going to fight against every red flag going. The Raw-like promo parades, weird switcheroo booking, and the Von Wagners, and focus on the positives. NXT is truly a developmental show once again, and that is very much fine. And if we still get matches like Kushida versus Roderick Strong whilst also promoting a whole bunch of new talent, that's also, it's fine, isn't it?